Joe's Inner Child Podcast.
Welcome back to the Inner Child Podcast. As always, I'm Literary Joe, and today's interview is co-hosted by Darth Lexi, as well as Comic Brooks. Today's guest is the legendary Michael Dorn, who is best known for portraying Worf in The Next Generation, as well as many other Star Trek projects. He talks with us about his new film, Agent Revelation, and he's a super chill person to chat with. As you can see, we're trying something new, where we release shorter episodes and multiple episodes for each guest, allowing listeners to choose which parts of the conversation they want to listen to. That way you can check out the conversation bits that you're interested in, and then binge the episodes with your favorite guests when you have more free time. Let us know what you think about this new release schedule, and whether or not you think it's a positive or negative thing. We're always looking for more feedback, but for now, let's check out what Michael Dorn has to say.
Literary Joe's Inner Child Podcast.
Hello, how you doing?
My bald brother, it's good to see somebody else without any hair. I feel better. Lexi and Nick make me feel so self-conscious.
Let me tell you something. When I started shaving my head, I felt liberated. So it's perfectly fine.
Well, once you start growing bald, the longer your hair is, the worse it looks. So you just gotta just go for it. Go all in.
Because at a certain point, it looks like you're trying to hold on to your youth.
Exactly. Precisely.
Hold on to that little bit, and it doesn't work. It just doesn't work.
You are handsome though. Before you came on, I was telling them, I was like, oh my gosh, he is so handsome. I was looking at these images of you from your new film, and I was like, oh, you're so handsome.
Oh, thank you so much. That's so sweet. I appreciate it. I really appreciate it.
Go ahead, Lexi. Introduce yourself. You're the one.
Lexi, hello. My name says H. I'm just a James Bond character in the making.
Okay. Nice
And
to meet you,
this is Nick. Right
Hello.
Hey, Nick. How you doing?
Doing good.
And our main man, Joe, who is bald.
There he is.
Gorgeous.
We're so excited to have you. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us. Can you start by telling us about this film and how it relates to the first Agent?
The first Agent, I basically purposely didn't watch the first Agent. So the Revelation was, I wanted to take it on its own, and I enjoyed a lot of aspects about it. First, I'm an actor, so I looked at my role, and it was very, very interesting. He was an integral part, which I liked, and but then the movie itself, or the script itself, was one of those that you never know how the movie's going to turn out. You never know what people are going to think about it, but at least it was something that I was interested in. That was the main thing. And it also dealt with what I felt was the idea about greed and about right and wrong and loyalty and where does strength come from, and I liked that a lot. At least that, let me put it this way, I added that into my
portrayal of the character.
Portrayal of the character, yeah.
It's Alistair. Is it Alistair that you play?
Alistair.
It's, I believe you narrate the trailer, or at least narrate the beginning of the trailer. Yes. And you say something like, it's been, I think if I heard correctly, 500 years since something happened, and now it's coming back. Can you give, just for people who are unfamiliar with the series, can you give a little explanation of basically what happened in the past?
What happened in the past is basically what I've been doing the last 15 years, which is fighting off an alien invasion, and which is always what they're trying to do. They're trying to take over, and they're trying to take over by going with a guy that is a billionaire who has all of the resources and connections that can get them in their little tentacles to go out there and to try to turn the planet over to them. And my character falls for it. He's greedy. He's disloyal. They ask him to kill his own son, which is ridiculous. And now that he's done that, or now that he's part of this, he feels very sort of like contrite about it. He really wants to make up for his actions before. And so he has chosen Derek's character to kind of be the point man to get rid of these aliens, these godforsaken aliens, as usual.
It's interesting. Yeah, I noticed when you were working on the film, and I noticed in the trailer that you have some time with like combat and some stunts in the film, and I was wondering if you could kind of expand on what it was like to film the more physical scenes in the movie.
Actually, I didn't. The only things that I did were the kind of Tai Chi moves and teaching Derek about that. He was very much part of the. I mean, he's done martial arts, so basically he was in charge of most of that. The only thing that I did, the only physical thing I did, was getting shot full of holes, which I thought was very cool.
Well, then I guess to kind of piggyback off of that, since you were working with him, who was a martial artist, was there anything that you learned while you were filming the stunts that you maybe didn't know beforehand?
Interesting. Derek was he was very smart about something, because when we started doing that particular scene and we were rehearsing, I was, because I had done a lot of that stuff in the Next Generation. And so I was kind of going, okay, this is how you do it. And he's going, oh, that's very interesting. And then I kind of looked at him and I went, do you know martial arts? Because I kind of felt that, and he goes, well, actually, yeah, my whole life. And I go, well, what am I doing teaching you? I mean, but he said he wanted it to look like I was teaching him. He didn't want it to look like that he knew already, because that would take away from the whole scene, which is I'm teaching him how to do this. And I thought that was very smart. He didn't try to overshadow that with his own knowledge, which is great.
Yeah, that's really cool. It's like a meeting of the minds and just kind of two schools of thought to come together to create something really interesting. Exactly. I like that.
Exactly, yeah.
Literary Joe's Inner Child Podcast.
Thank you for listening. We appreciate your support and we'd love to hear from you. So make sure to follow us and hit us up on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Literary Joe. You can also find Lexi at Darth Lexi with 2 I's, and you can find Nick at Comic Brooks. For those avid readers out there, be sure to check out the articles on comicbookmovie.com for the written transcript and other cool images. Thanks again.
Literary Joe's Inner Child Podcast.